I'm at right now is the Lion Energy lithium battery, and this is Dave, and we're going to talk about lithium-ion batteries.
Wonderful.
So, Dave, tell us a little bit about Lion Energy.
You bet. So Lion Energy, as the parent company, has been around for 18 years, and we've been producing this lithium battery for 2 years on there. So it's a 12-volt battery. It's 105 amp hour. And it will actually discharge at 150 amps. Some of the others are going to discharge at 100 amps, so it's got a higher power output on there. It has a lifetime warranty, and what you're allowed to do that, it has so many amp hours. A regular lead acid battery has about 250 to 300 life cycles. This has 3,500 life cycles. And so you can go, if you went camping every day with that, full discharge, full recharge, that'd take 10 years to even consume that many. If you're camping every other day, 20 years.
What's the voltage when the battery is fully charged? What would be the voltage at the fully charged, and where would be the voltage at the discharge point?
Great question. So with lithium, you go all the way up to 14.6 volts, and then the BMS, the battery management system, allows you to take it all the way down to 3%, which is 10 volts. And so you get that entire range. That's why we say you can essentially camp twice as long with lithium.
Gotcha. Your battery control module is on the side?
Yeah, so you've got a BMS, a battery management system inside there. It uses prismatic cells, which allow the battery to be a group 24 size. It's the regular size of a battery. You picture 4 books inside there. And then on this last one here is your BMS, battery management system, which controls your temperature, controls your charge in, charge out. You can't overcharge it, you can't discharge it, because the BMS is going to control that flow of the current in or out.
Perfect. What would be the best size of wiring to use on your battery?
Yeah, so I'd recommend a 2 gauge, and the more you have, if you just have one, a 4 gauge might be fine, but if you had 2 and 3 and 4 gauge wire, or batteries, you might go a 0 or a 2 gauge or a double aught, depending on which one.
And you can hook them up series or parallel?
You can. You can go up to 48 volts in series, and that allows, you could go to a house. Your solar panels come in at 48 volts, or you can go in parallel. And so you've got people doing 2 and 4 and 6 and 8 in parallel, and you're just adding the amp hours, 105 amp hours, 210 amp hours, and so on. Now you're camping longer.
Fabulous, fabulous. What kind of charger would you recommend for charging this? If I have an RV that has the lead acid charger, what would you recommend that I change to, or can I use my lead acid charger?
Awesome. It will accept a charge from whatever you give it. It just might not charge it. Say if you've got an older coach, you're only going to dump in about 13.5 volts, and as a result of that, that will charge that battery up to about 80%. If you have solar panels, you'll be able to charge it the rest of the way. But in answer to your question, you could get a lithium charger. A lithium charger, Amazon, $200. A lithium charger is going to dump in 14.6 volts, and if you do it at about 55 amps, that'll charge that battery in 2 hours.
So then can I soak it at 4.5 or 4.6 volts, or would you recommend that I reduce the voltage, or how would I do that?
When you say soak it?
Well, a constant charge on the battery. For example, I'm now parked my RV for a month or so. I'm plugged into hydro or power, as we call it hydro in Canada. What would the voltage do if it's always at 14.6 volts? Is that acceptable for the battery on a long-term basis?
You want it that high. You want to start lithium at 14.6, store it that way. It has a shelf life. That's the other value. The lead acid battery, you either got to put a trickle charge to it, or you've got to put a charge to it every 3 to 6 months, or it's going to fall what's called below depth of discharge, and it's a replace rather than a recharge. With lithium, you can keep that has a shelf life of a year or more. And so if you have it at full charge, after a year, you'll still have an 80% charge on it. So the shelf life is significantly more.
Right. And there's no, what is that formula where if you take a lead acid and put it on the ground, it'll discharge within so many weeks, it just corp go off?
Yeah, there you go. Yep. And
One question.
Okay. And so, the question again?
Should we leave the batteries charging at 14.4 volts all the time?
Yeah, just dump it. That's what it wants. It wants. A lead acid will accept the charge, 100% of the charge until it's about 80% full, and then it will slow the charge down so you don't boil over the battery. Lithium, you want to charge it at 14.6 volts and just dump it in there. Think of it like a giant cell phone. It wants all the volts until it's full.
Well, Dave, thank you for your time. It's been great talking to Lion Energy, and thanks again.